Did you know every single move in this game is dodgeable, including ultimate attacks? Or that charging your ki underwater somehow slows your ki charge? Sparking Zero has a lot of combat depth, which is why my first tip is please look at the explanation controls for each of the characters you play. You can pretty easily find this when you go to super training and go to the regular training mode. Explanation controls should be your best friend when you start playing this game because they will give you all relevant information for your specific character. And before you go thinking, but Claxton, isn't every character the same but with a few tweaks? Oh, how innocent. Each character in this game has specific and unique combos to them, so not every follow-up or button combination is going to work. For example, Super Saiyan 3 Goku's light heavy attack is an insane gut check that will stun the opponent, but Cooler's is not. It's a completely different follow-up. So I'd recommend checking out their follow-up section first because there is a lot of things that you need to digest for each character, but this is where you'll be learning about a lot of your character specific combos that you'll need to master if you want to start to get high damaging combos. While you're here on this page, make sure to also look at your skill list to see what effects your skills do on your character. I still see a lot of players blissfully unaware of just how much your skills enhance their character's gameplay and lead to greater combos and opportunities for damage. For example, my main, Bergamo, shout out to the 3 Bergamo mains. We are a pack, for real, we gotta stick together, everyone hates us. He has a 3 skill ability that lets him enter sparking state with an attack, ki blast, and super blast buff at the cost of only slightly losing his defense. Just slightly, it's not even a lot. The fact that you don't even get that much of a drawback for using a 3 skill to get sparking state, and you'll be able to get this skill back while you're comboing them in sparking state to get multiple sparking states, it's crazy. You really need to check out your skill set and see what your skills do for each character, because all of what I just listed, when you combine that with being in the battle and fighting a bunch, I get to go sparking 4 times per match on average in DP battles. So I implore you, learn your skills and get good. Square mashing sucks. Let's be real, I know you be mashing square sometimes. It's okay, I know you mash light attack. This is a safe zone, I won't judge you. Filthy masher. Square light attack combos are very nice to pull off, especially in sparking mode, when you actually get pretty good mileage out of it. But base light attacks are not going to be doing much for you. Instead, comboing it with your ki blast button, or heavy attacks, will allow you to land those flashy combos that all the Super Saiyan Gogeta mains love to use on me. Please let me leave, I've been here since the game dropped, let me get out the combo. A favorite one of mine that works on a decent amount of characters is light heavy. This performs the same gut check I mentioned earlier. It allows for easy follow-ups into other moves, like doing a light attack into holding backwards and using your ki blast button, which will perform a trip. After that, landing your light attack and doing heavy while holding up will kick them into the air, to which you can jump with them and do another light attack chain, pressing the button 4 times before launching them with your heavy attack, which puts you in an opportunity to use vanishing attacks to keep the string going. All of that will increase your damage significantly, and if you know what you're doing, you can do high damage combos that do more damage than your supers. I've seen a lot of damage. I got hit with one by Raccoon on my first day stream. This was crazy, 76 damage? Bro, get me out of here. This is not a cutscene. There is a lot of technical skill expression you can perform here, which is why I urge you, please check out your character's explanation sheet, which functions as pretty much the moveset for this game. Get your butt in super training and lock in to learn your actual combos. I want none of you to be light attack mashing again after this video, and if you do, I will 3-stock you personally with base Kaba. Don't think I won't. Never think any move or follow-up is true in this game. A huge mistake I made early in my Sparking Zero career, it's been 2 days, has been dropping my controller when I would see an opponent use a super after they launched me away. Because to me, I thought it was true since I got launched away. Like, it looks like I'm in hit stun, it looks like I can't move, so why would I be thinking to press a button if I'm going flying? Well, that's exactly what I'm here to help you stop doing. This is where perfect dodges come in. That's not the exact name that you'll see in training, but that's what I call them. If you time a block when the enemy hits you with a super move or heavy attack or follow-up move, you can immediately dodge out the way, similar to a vanishing counter. This is especially great on ultimates where they'll be wasting their whole meter trying to punish you. That's not to say to not use these moves when you send your opponents flying, but gauge the skill level of your opponent. Throw some supers out when they go flying after you launch them, say for example if you use a grab, and see if they dodge them. If they don't, that's a pretty good indicator that when you throw them again and you're in sparking mode, you're gonna get that confirmed by landing your ultimate. Alright, for this tip viewers, let me put you on game, because no one is doing this right now and it's sad to see. No one plays tutorial. Super counters. Learn how to super counter by holding up and pressing light attack while you're being mollywopped and schmeckeldorfed by their light attack string. You can push them away and initiate vanishing follow-ups. You can even do it when they're hitting you from the back with vicious Kaba back shots. Kabak shots. Don't let me see you getting sparking mashed again, because it's crazy out here in ranked. So skill meter, like I mentioned earlier, is extremely underutilized, which is a shame because the meter builds very quickly. Any action you do in this game will build meter. Hell, you're not even playing the game right now and your meter's building. Perception counters, throws, chain attacks, anything you do fills up this meter. Liking the video gives you meter. Subscribing maxes your meter out. A great way to build skill is by deflecting ki blasts. For some reason, the increase to your skill meter grows substantially with successive deflections. So a nice thing I like to do when I'm playing is I like to charge my ki and bait the opponent into throwing ki blasts, because so far a lot of people who I've fought have been throwing ki blasts whenever I'm charging to interrupt me, which makes sense. But what they don't realize is that I'm actually baiting them so I can build my skill, and me playing Bergamo, that allows me to get my Howl skill off more to enter sparking mode. So they're actually helping me by spamming the ki blast. So try to see how you can bait your opponent to using their ki blast so you can get some pretty easy skill buildup. Utilize the movement options this game have. People are so stagnant in this game, it's like a lake out in the... I'm sorry, that was trash. You can utilize the short dashes to get past people's guards and begin to combo them, or dash back and punish their whiffed attacks. Additionally, you can use ascend and descend. Something the game told you once when you had to fight Gogeta and you just completely forgot about it? Yeah, that one. Something I hardly see people using online, combining that with your ki allows you to quickly ascend and descend, so you can use that to mix up your opponents and throw off their timing, and you can completely dodge their attacks and get to their backs to give them back shots. It also helps with giving you new angles, especially since no one is doing this right now. Be the trendsetter, guys. Do not settle for anything less than being excellent and being great at what you do in life, even in Sparking Zero. If you're gonna play it, be the damn best you could be, which is exactly why you're watching the video and why you should subscribe. Sonic Swing makes you weave like your life depends on it, and it's pretty easy to replicate consistently. While you're guarding, time your perception counter to their attack and it will activate the Sonic Weave for no skill cost. And if you want to, you can also do super perceptions when you have one skill point and perception counter a smash attack. It adds more damage to the counter, and in my opinion, when you have skill in your meter, it also makes Sonic Swing easier. That may be a placebo, but I'm pretty sure it helps you land Sonic Sway. So you know how you would do heavy moves when you do light attack and chain it into your heavy? Well, you can actually do these moves out of dash. Simply going to your opponent and dashing into them, you can perform a heavy attack while you're dashing. The tutorial already covers this, but what I discovered is you can dash in different directions and still use the heavies. This is especially useful for the backwards dash because it allows you to dodge their attack and immediately counter with something like a backwards or neutral heavy. But be aware with the neutral heavy though, it is a move that sends them far away from you if you want to have a get off me tool, but the range is a bit deceptive. It doesn't reach as far as it looks. I've definitely absorbed Vegeta's whole body into this and bro just light work, no reaction to me, so. Training talks about recovering from the ground, but what they don't mention is that you can actually recover from any direction on the ground. So if you don't want to roll into the opponent, you can actually just roll backwards or roll to the side, depending on the angle you want to hit. Strangely enough, your ki charge is affected by where you are on the map, specifically if you're underwater or not. For some forsaken reason, your ki charge will be negatively affected if you charge ki underwater compared to if you're on land or in the air. So why would you want to be underwater in the first place? A valiant question, dear viewer. Your ki is harder to detect when underwater, which is good for you if you just spawn in with another character and your opponent has sparking mode. You can hide out and be a nice scared weakling who's afraid of the fade until their mode is done. Be wary though, some characters like Vegeta Scouter or Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta have easier times detecting ki due to their Scouter. I can't believe bro found a use for that. I really cannot believe for their God ki being able to sense other ki respectively. Your maximum number of follow-ups is actually contingent on the character you're playing. Confused? Let me explain. Say I use a throw and go for a vanishing follow-up. Well, each character has a limit as to how many vanishing follow-ups they can do. A majority of the cast from what I've seen can only do up to 2 additional inputs. But some characters' maximums, like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, have 3 follow-up inputs compared to 2. And this number increases by another 2 when you go into sparking mode. So Super Saiyan 3 Goku will have 5 additional follow-ups before dropping the combo if he launches an opponent. It's actually kind of game-changing to know how many your character has, because you've probably been losing out on a lot of damage if you thought your character had less follow-ups than their actual maximum. Which, speaking of, if you guys don't know, a lightning attack can be performed while you're doing your follow-ups. Say for example, you do your 2 additional inputs in the air, you can press circle or your perception button and you will do a lightning strike, which is basically a kick that knocks the opponent down to the ground. In my opinion, it is always good to go for this because it's extra damage that you can get on the enemy. And who doesn't love extra damage? I know I do. And on top of that, if they're in the air and they're being sent downward, you can combo that into a super. I would recommend using a beam because the super rushes where you rush into them to do a combo string, they seem to be pretty inaccurate from my experience. But you can use your ultimate, and if that is a rush, then that seems to be fine. That seems to link well. And if you knock them onto the ground, that's actually even better because 1, they take more damage, and 2, you can follow up easier by dashing into them and using a grab, because most people at this point will be blocking since they just got packed and pieced up. And even if they're not blocking, if they did not tech the ground when they got knocked into it, that's a free follow-up into your ultimate if you were in sparking mode, or a super, or a charged ki blast, something. You will get something out of that. It's great. Please use lightning strike as often as you can. While you're doing your light attack mash, I know I told you guys not to do it, but if you insist on doing it, fine. You can teleport in the direction of your choosing while you're attacking. It's a great mix-up to your opponent's guard, but if you want to perform it, all you have to do is press the dodge button, or whatever you use to block with, and hold a direction.
Oh, look at him joke!
Playing as a furry is crazy? No, it's not. Once you watch Beastars, you will change your mind. Like I mentioned previously, you can dodge anywhere while you're doing your light attack chain. But what I like to do is trip the opponent and then do 1 light attack and then dodge backwards, because that can make some of my super attacks true. Keep in mind, you can only dodge when you're doing light attack chains. You can't do it after you do the trip move. You have to do 1 light attack at least so that you can dodge backwards. And dodging backwards will take ki, so keep that in mind. But in my opinion, this is a pretty underrated technique that I discovered, and I feel like it might have some potential. If you ever lose all your ki and get guard broke, 1, how the hell that happened, but 2, you will enter a knockdown state. If you ever wondered why your character wasn't moving after you got hit by a strong move, it was probably for that reason. Simply mashing your attack button, dash, ki blast, and perception counter, mashing any of those buttons will make you recover ki quicker compared to if you don't. A lot of people, including myself, figured that I was getting cooked after stamina broken, like just completely cooked. There was no helping my situation, but you can do this and you will recover quicker. Let me know if you discover any more useful tips, and please like this video and subscribe if this helped you so Bandai Namco will notice us. We will become noticed as a Bergamo bro.